Good morning, fourth graders. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about sentences and fragments today. I know we kind of had somewhat of a introduction to that before on the wrong lessons, but nonetheless, here we are, sentences and fragments. So first we'll start off with a definition of what a sentence is. Remember that a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought, right? And so if sentences express a complete thought, what do you think a fragment would be? It would not express a complete thought. So let's look at a couple of examples of sentences and or fragments. So when you finish your homework, does that express a complete thought? Does it tell you what happens when you finish your homework? Not really. But if we add a piece to it, when you finish your homework, you can play outside. Now we have a complete thought because it tells you what you can do when you finish with your homework, okay? Just this part alone would be a fragment. In order to turn this fragment into a sentence, we have to add the complete thought. So our second example, running in the halls. Who's running in the halls? Right? We need to know who. So we could say, she was, lowercase, she was running in the halls. They were running in the halls. Then we'd have a subject to go with the fragment to make it a complete thought, right? Okay, or we can do the opposite. Instead of adding something on the beginning, we could add something to the end. So running in the halls can be dangerous. Okay. Right? And so we know what can be dangerous, right? And so it expresses a complete thought. Now let's look at a shorter version of what we might consider or what we might not think could be a complete sentence. So here we have, we pray. 2 little words, right? Could this possibly be a complete thought? Is this a sentence or a fragment? This is actually a sentence. Why? Because pray is the verb, right? We tells who prays, so this is a subject. We have a subject and a verb, right? We pray. This is where we would separate our subject part from our predicate part, okay? So it is actually a sentence. Just like the very short sentence in the Bible, Jesus wept. That is also a complete thought. It's a sentence, right? So what you'll do is, in think A, you will determine whether each group of words expresses a complete thought. Is it a sentence? Or is it not quite complete? We need more information. Is it a fragment? So you will put S in the blank. If it is a sentence, you will put F in the blank if it is a fragment. One more caveat to this, one more instruction. So if the group of words is a sentence, I will need you to capitalize, put your capitalization proofreader's mark to show what letter needs to be capitalized, and I will need you to insert a punctuation mark at the end. So let's do the first example, number 1. Number 1 says, fire burns. Now, is this a complete thought? Is this a sentence? Okay. Do we have a verb, something that's happening? And do we have the subject that tells who or what did it? So burns is a verb, right? Who or what burns? Fire burns is my subject, right? So this is actually a sentence. Okay? So I will insert a period here, and I will use my capitalization proofreader's mark to show that that should be capitalized. If you choose, you can, put the capital F on top just to show that you capitalized, but that is not necessary. As long as you have your 3 underlines, which is your proofreader's mark, that shows me that you understand that letter should be capitalized, okay? So you will complete Think A, and Think B is the instruction that says go back, and for every one that you marked S, that is a sentence, you will put your underline under the first letter that should be capitalized, and you'll put your insert mark with a punctuation at the end. Any questions, guys? Just feel free to reach out to me. I will be available. Thank you.